Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Tuesday, Stir Tuesday. Let's make that a thing. We're making some stir fry. Here's my secrets to stir fry. A, use literally whatever you have. You got stuff in the fridge? Great. Mix and match your vegetables. It doesn't matter. B, use whatever protein you have. You got beef? We bought beef because we felt like beef. But beef, chicken, pork, shrimp, you could do tofu, whatever you want. It all works out great. C, use whatever sauce you want. Honestly, when we make this stir fry, which is pretty often, James usually makes it a lot, but we just use whatever we have on hand. So whatever vegetables that is, you can put those in. As you can see in the recipe, there's like hundreds of combos. Today, I'm going to do peppers, onions, and mushrooms because that's what we have. But you can use, honestly, whatever vegetables you want. So, first step for everyone but Jamie. If you are doing chicken or pork, hopefully you already soaked that in the baking soda that you dissolved in 2 tablespoons of water. If not, it's fine. What I'm going to do is I've taken my beef, I've putting it in a bowl, and I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and you're just going to let that sit while we're getting everything else ready. This moves pretty quickly, so I will cut up all my vegetables and all my stuff while this is just like hanging out and marinating. So I'm putting my 2 tablespoons of soy sauce in there, and I'm just going to put that to the side. So literally just soy sauce in the bowl with the meat. I'm going to put it on this back part of my burner, which is not on. I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes so I don't forget. So, quick rundown of how we do this. We're going to cook our meat. We're going to take it out, so you want a bowl or something to put it in. We're going to cook our vegetables according to their cooking times. So, I have peppers, onions, and mushrooms, which means peppers and onions and mushrooms all are a 1 to 3 minute cooking time. So I can put those all in together. But if you have like broccoli, green beans, or cabbage, you're going to put those in first. Then as you get kind of towards the last 1 to 3 minutes, probably 3 minutes of their cooking time, you would add your things that cook really quick. And then as you get to your fast cooking time, any of those items, you'd put those in last. And cook those around. Then we're going to add our aromatics, which is the ginger, the garlic, and then whatever cooking oil you're using. You're going to zhuzh that a little bit. And then you will make your sauce, which I usually do. I make the sauce usually as I'm cooking the protein because I'm just standing here anyway. And then at the end, you just dump it all together. Because of the cornstarch in the sauce, it's going to get thick, so it's going to be really nice, and then that's it. You're done. So really easy peasy. I usually serve it over rice. I have my rice waiting in the rice cooker. I haven't turned it on yet. Yes, I bought a rice cooker. I bought a rice cooker because James said he was tired of cleaning the starch off the stove. And before you say, but you could just make rice better, I could, but it's hard with this electric cooktop to really, once you drop it, I feel like it takes a while to drop. It doesn't do it instantaneously. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've washed my mushrooms. Now we're just gonna have some little chitty chats while we cut up everything else. So I'm just gonna cut up this bell pepper, strips, chunks, bite-sized pieces. You kind of want it to be reasonable. You obviously don't want to have too big of a piece in that. So you're going to cut up whatever your vegetables are. So veggie combos that we've used in life, like I said, we do peppers, onions, mushrooms a lot. We put asparagus in here. We've done bok choy. That was really nice. You could even really save yourself an additional step and buy the frozen stir fry vegetables. Those would be fine too. I don't generally do that, but you can do that. So anyway, I'm going to cut this up into, smallish chunks. Also, like I said, James normally does this, so I normally am the sous chef. So this should be fun for us because I don't feel, when it comes to this recipe, that I'm as competent in it as he is. But he, despite marrying me, is very camera shy. So he did not want to be a part of this. He was nervous. So anyway, so we're cutting up our vegetables. Like I said, other sauces, I've never made them. This really reminds me of a classic, you know, like stir fry like you would get if you went to like a Chinese restaurant. So I really like it that way. I'm actually gonna get myself another bowl to put these peppers in. Even though they're all going in at once, my cutting board's a little crowded, so I'm just gonna move them off the bowl here, off the whatever cutting board. Yeah. I also have all my little duty dads out that I need, which is quite, I feel like, a lot of ingredients, but it really actually isn't that much. So onions, again, you're gonna kind of want to slice it so you can do what you got to do here. Hope everyone is having a good day. We're really fully into summer, I feel like now. Tomorrow's an exciting day in Tolland County because the CrossFit box is opening back up again, which means that I can actually return to CrossFit and not just workouts in my garage like a Looney Tune. Really excited. They are like limiting the amount of people that are allowed in the gym and the amount of people in classes. So it used to kind of be first come, first serve, but now they're making it so that people really have to sign up for classes, which, you know, is fine by me. And they made it so they only opened it up like 24 hours before the class, because otherwise, like for a while, it was when they had classes outside, I could like sign up for weeks in advance and be like, I know I'm going to be there every day at whatever time. So that makes it a little bit more fair for people, because there's some classes where like the 5:30 a.m. class is like full. I don't know who these people are working at 5:30 a.m. It's not me. But that class usually fills up really quick. And then obviously the classes at night would fill up pretty fast too. All right, so I did my peppers and my onions. I don't like this piece of onion. I'm gonna get rid of it. And my mushrooms, like I said, they're pre-sliced. I just washed them. I'm gonna leave them how it is. I also need my aromatics, 3 cloves of minced garlic. So I'm gonna mince that now. Because like I said, once this gets going, you're just along for the ride. So I have like a little cup that I'll put my minced garlic in. It doesn't get in the way. And I also have my recipe over here. I really didn't memorize it. I'm not that tricky. I mean, once you start doing this, geez Louise, look at that biggin. This is like, all right, so these are pretty large, so I'm just going to use, I guess, 2 of them because they're really, really big. Did not expect that. What a fun surprise that was. Here's your garlic peeling trick. Maybe you don't know this. I don't know how. Take your knife. This one has holes in it, so stuff falls off, but it doesn't really matter. And you can use it to smack down the garlic clove, and then the like paper part of it will come right off. There you go. Makes it a lot easier than trying to peel it otherwise, and then your hands aren't as stinky and garlicky. Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna chop this up. I'll probably get my aromatics all ready to go, just because that way when I get to that step, I will be ready. So mush, 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 chop, chop, chop. Mince, mince. This is like my last good kitchen knife that does not need to be sharpened, so I will be using that a lot. This is the infamous knife that cut James's finger. So he doesn't use it as much because it is pretty sharp. So you kind of gotta mind yourself when you use it, which I do. Gosh, this is a lot of garlic. This might be too much garlic. You want 3 cloves. I did 2 monster cloves, which is probably more like 4, but if you have normal cloves, that's fine. You have the pre-chopped garlic, which I use quite a bit. That's fine too. All right, we got 6 minutes left on our timer here. So once the protein is done kind of sitting in this stuff, we'll just drain the soy sauce out and we will put it in. Oh my goodness, this was way too much garlic. So I'm probably not going to use all of this because this is excessive. All right, let me get a little thing, put this aside, do it later. All right. So I am, like I said, gonna mix up my aromatics since I've just cut and chopped everything. And now I don't need this knife anymore. Bye-bye. All right. Your aromatics, I'll repeat it again later, but just so you know, I'm going to put in a tablespoon of ginger paste. You do not have ginger paste, it's totally fine. You can use a teaspoon of powdered ginger. That works just fine. I just generally have this on hand, so that's what I use. Put that in there. And then we also need a spoon of vegetable oil. That's what this is. And I will kind of zhuzh this up in here, and that will be all ready to go once we get to that stage. So these are my aromatics. They're ready to go. All right. Here's the thing. People are going to tell you you need a wok to make stir fry. You don't need a wok to make stir fry. You can make it in your cast iron skillet. Zala! I always make it in the cast iron skillet. I've never had a problem with it. You do not need a wok. Don't buy a wok. It's a scam. All right. So I am putting my handy dandy cast iron skillet on here, and I'm going to set the heat to high. You don't want to use olive oil, although I generally do use olive oil because the smoke point of olive oil is not high enough. And it will make a big mess and cause lots of smoke in your kitchen. So you want to use olive oil, canola oil, whatever. I think avocado oil they say you can use. Oh, sorry. Peanut, vegetable, or canola are the 3 oils you want to use to make stir fry. They have very high smoke points. So that's what you want. What's up, James? Oh, try to unmute. Hello. Trying to unmute. Jamie, what's up?
All right, it should be. I don't know. The sound isn't there, Sarah. Can't hear you.
Now I can hear you.
Sarah, we can't. All right, hold on. I'm gonna leave and come back.
All right, I can hear you just fine. All right, well, Jamie's having some technical difficulties, so I guess he'll come back in a minute and we'll just, and he's back, maybe. Jill's iPad, connecting. Yeah, sound off, that's fine. Let's see what's happening here. Jamie, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're gonna make it after. Chicken's still frozen.
The chicken's still frozen, oh my goodness.
So we're gonna make it after.
Okay, so you're just listening now?
Yeah, it's still frozen.
Oh, okay, that happens. All right. So, like I said, you're gonna get this really hot. So I don't have anything in this. It's just gonna be a wicked hot pan. And then I'm going to put some oil in before I cook my protein, which still has 2 minutes and 39 seconds. So again, cook the protein. We're gonna take it out. We're gonna cook our veggies. We're gonna make a little, it's a well, but it's not a well because you're not really making a well because there's whatever. You're gonna make a little hole in the center of your vegetables. You're gonna zhuzh in your aromatics. Then you're gonna cook that really quick, like 30 seconds, and then you put the sauce in. So for the sauce, I've already made my chicken broth because as we know, I have an obsession with that better than bouillon chicken broth, so I had to get it, which reminds me, I need to grab my cornstarch. I knew I was forgetting something, but I did not know what. Cornstarch. So, anyway, I hope everyone's having a nice day. It's beautiful weather here today in Talon County. It's going to be beautiful for a while. I don't even know when it's going to rain again. I don't know, maybe Saturday? We're going to see. But like I said, beautiful weather here. All right. Oh, James is looking at some birds. So I'm going to put some oil in here, like enough to coat my pan. The pan should be hot, so you should be able to spread it around pretty good, which is what I'm doing. And that's fine to sit there. We have a minute left on the clock, just in case everyone cares. If you did not, I mean, the ship has already sailed. We're past this now. You can buy stir-fry beef or stir-fry whatever. You don't have to do that. You can also buy regular cuts and just cut them, which is what we do. Like with chicken, we just buy chicken and cut it. They recommend kind of par freezing it first because that does make it easier to slice. So if your chicken's a little frozen, you can get away with slicing it. And then you do the whole rigmarole with the soaking and the whatever. So this is usually something that, like, since I got home from work first, I would kind of get everything together and started so that by the time James came home, it was good. All right, our 15 minutes are up. I'm just going to take this beef and drop it in the pan. It's going to sizzle. Take a step back as not to burn yourself, but I'm just plopping it in. If you need, I feel like I'm yelling because it's very loud in my kitchen right now. So if you need to cook this in 2 batches, you want to do that. You don't want to crowd your pan because you want everything to cook, because you're not cooking it a second time. This is going to be the only time you cook your beef or your chicken or whatever. So you're going to cook it as much as you need to cook it for it to be done. Because like I said, you're not going to cook it again. So I'm just throwing this all in here, and I'll get it together when so I'm just using a wooden implement here. If cast iron does not like metal, don't be using your metal stuff in here. It makes it bad. All right. While this is cooking and getting grease everywhere, for which I do feel bad, so I am actually going to wipe a little bit of it up. Your meat's in the pan. You're going to make your sauce. So, like I said, half a cup of chicken broth. We're then going to put in a quarter of a cup of cooking sherry. I just use the same container, and I'll just pour this up till you get to the 3/4 line. Quarter of a cup, half cup, 3/4. That's the sort of math I could do. Heidi, it seems a little hot. Seems a little hot. All right. You are also going to add in there 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. I'm going to give mine a good shake because I don't know when the last time I used this was. So we'll shake it. 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. We generally always have hoisin sauce because, like I said, we make a lot of stir fries, but you can use it in other things. If you did not have hoisin sauce, you could also use oyster sauce, which is not something I would have because that does not sound appetizing to me. All right, so there's your 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. We will need a tablespoon of soy sauce. Gonna give these a little stir. Cook my cookies! Cook it so beautiful! I love stir fry! I love stir fry so I got distracted. A tablespoon of soy sauce. We use reduced sodium. That's just a personal choice. You use whatever kind you want. You need 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. My teaspoon is already wet, so I'm just going to use my half teaspoon. So that's why I'm going to put 4 of these in. But if you have a real teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. 4. And finally, a teaspoon of sesame oil, which again is something that you would use actually a lot more than you would expect to use it, but we use it pretty often. All right, cool. I have a fork. I'm gonna mix this really, 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 really well because I want to break up the clumps of cornstarch, which if you're making this in like a mixing bowl or a mixy guy, a measuring cup, that's the word I was looking for. You'll see when they're in there and when they're dissolved. And I also will mix this again before I dump it right in there. So I move everything sort of out of my way here. My meat is looking pretty cooked. So I'm going to take it out of this pan. Good thing about beef is it cooks pretty fast, and if it's a little undercooked, you'll be fine because it's beef and you won't die. Or, I mean, you shouldn't die. Don't get like mad cow disease. That'd be poor. When you donate blood, they're like, "Did you have mad cow disease?" And the answer should always be, "No, I really didn't." But I think if you lived in England for a prolonged period of time, they get upset about that. All right, I'm gonna put a little more oil in my pan because mostly all went out. Now I'm going to add in all of my vegetables. Because they all have the same cooking time as I stated, I can put them all in at once. So peppers, onions, and my mushrooms. And I am going to set my timer for 3 minutes. Now, if I was like cooking by myself, I don't know that I would normally do that. But as we know, I can kind of prattle on. So I need to do that to really remind myself to stop. But I'm gonna kind of stir these around, make sure they cook really nice. You know, get everything cooked the way you like it. So I'm gonna turn this heat back up a little scooch or 2. Now for James, you have the feelings about onions. So he might actually cook these onions a little bit longer than I would cook them. But he's not doing this cooking show. What I am gonna do though is start my rice. So I have no idea how long that rice will take. The rice is in the rice cooker, that's all I know. Rice is in the rice cooker, and it's moving around on my veggies. Your house should smell really good, like cooked veggies. Everything should be kind of browning and getting itself together. Oh man, I'm super psyched about this. This is a great dinner. It also is a great leftover. Because usually, you know, we have a decent amount, but not enough for a whole full dinner. So one of us, usually me, ends up taking it for lunch. If I had somewhere to go for lunch, I would take it. I don't have anywhere to go for lunch, so I'll just eat it for lunch tomorrow. This has been a great week of lunches, by the way, because I've had nothing but leftovers. So we made like a wacky Caesar salad on Sunday, so I ate that. And then today I had chicken marsala that we made last week, which we still have more of. And I also have some chicken that I made the other day, some chicken skewers. All right, so once these veggies are done, we're gonna add in our aromatics, which if you recall, was a teaspoon of your cooking oil, whatever that is, 3 cloves of minced garlic, and a tablespoon of grated ginger. So you're gonna put this in and you're gonna cook it super fast. Like, I think it says 30 seconds. Let me just double check. Yeah, 30 seconds, really fast. You're gonna cook it. Then you're gonna add your meat back in. Then you're gonna put your sauce in, and that's it. Then you're done. You know, obviously you let the sauce cook a little bit so it can, there's my timer. You let the sauce cook a little bit so it can thicken up. Like I said, I'm making like a little hole in the center of all my veggies, and I'm gonna put in my aromatics, my garlic, my ginger, and my paste, and my, sorry, my not olive oil, God, my cooking oil. I'm gonna just mix that around. Now your actually smell really, really good because it's got garlic and ginger in it. And that's gonna be all up in your vegetables. Oh yes, smells delicious. Yum, 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 yum. All right. Your meat, your protein, whatever it is, going back in that bad boy. Give that a quick little zhuzh. And then I'm gonna put my sauce in. Like I said, I'm gonna stir it again to make sure that I got all the clumpy lumpies out, which looks like I did. And I'm just gonna pour this in here. And I'm going to hopefully, where the heck did I, oh, I'm gonna take my little spatula, kind of clean it out. I'm gonna toss everything around in here. You're gonna let it thicken, which should not take that long at all, because your pan's pretty hot. You just seared those veggies, but you wanna make sure everything kind of joins the party here. Make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. That sauce again was a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. It was a 1/4 cup of cooking sherry. It was 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and a teaspoon of sesame oil. So I'm going to pick up the computer, which I don't normally do, but we're gonna go on an adventure. So as you can see, this is like really thickened right now. That's it. It's ready to go. So my rice, should have started it before, but I hilariously just started it now. So I'm gonna turn this off. You know your sauce is done when you kind of push it in the pan and it doesn't immediately fill the space that you created. I'll probably put a lid on this just to keep it warm until my rice is done. But you guys, that's it. That's stir fry. I know it seems really complicated, but it honestly is not. And it's a really great meal that you can throw together. You know, like I said, with whatever you have, whatever you're feeling like, whatever you can find when you're at the store, like you don't have to get crazy with it. You could just do, you know, 2 things if you wanted. We usually end up doing 3 because that's our personal preference. Keeps it kind of interesting. We've got those little like baby corns that come in like a can. We put those in there. We've never done tomatoes. We have done snap peas or stuff like that. Now, like Trader Joe's makes a bag that's in the refrigerated section that is like with all the vegetables, that's like stir fry vegetables. You can put that in there, like literally anything you want, and it is delicious. We are now just waiting on our rice, and that's it. Dinner is ready, and it is 6:30. Can you do better than that? I mean, 15 minutes of that were us just waiting for our protein to be, you know, done marinating. So it cannot get any easier than that. But we just have a delicious meal in 15 minutes. So if you guys want, let me know. There are, like I said, 2 other sauces. One is a sweet and sour sauce, and one is a coconut red curry. I have not made either of those because I like this one so much, but I'm sure they're delicious. This recipe came from Cooks Illustrated, which is something that I highly recommend. The subscription to the magazine is a little expensive, but their cookbooks are really good because they usually break down the reasons why they're doing stuff. There's always logic to it, and they usually do things like, I've made this 472 times, and the way it worked out best was this way. So that's why this is the only stir fry I'll use, and it is really delicious. We actually haven't had it in a while, so I am pretty psyched. The Sarah Mess contest is still going, so be sure to tag me in anything you've made. I did update all the recipes. They're now all in that Google document, including links to all the YouTube videos as well, in case you just like can't get enough of my beautiful face and you really wanted to like be ready to look at my beautiful face and wanted to watch my videos forever. They're all in there also. So you can check out those whenever you're ready. And yeah, so to be honest with you, not sure how much longer we're going to do this. I mean, I'm still unemployed, but if people want to keep going, we can keep going. What am I going to make next week? Pam gives me a thumbs up, so I guess we're going to keep going. What am I going to make next week? Great question. Don't know. I guess we'll see what the weather turns out to be. Oh, Kate's giving me some applause. Karen says keep going. Okay, well, I guess the people have voted, so I will keep going. But I don't know what I'm gonna make next week, so I'll let you guys know once I figure it out. Also, if you guys find recipes and you're like, this seems interesting, but seems like I don't want to get into this because I don't know if it's difficult or not, send it to me because I'll give it a try. I don't have anything going on. I'm the crazy girl that keeps making, you know, sourdough bread because that was my other activity today. This is my sourdough. It is in the bulk fermentation stage, so it just kind of hangs out like this. Still has to poof up a little bit. So this probably won't be done for another couple hours, but my little sourdough baby, bread baby. Yeah, we're talking to a girl that's made excessive numbers of bread, so I literally cannot be trusted. Anyway, thank you guys. It was a pleasure as always, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.